Hello friends, I'm Kat. Welcome to my channel and welcome to another day of Bookmas. So today we're going to be doing the end of year book tag that's been going around. So this is just like a little book tag to talk a bit more about your end of year reading plans and a little bit of what you anticipate the rest of the year will be like. Get ready, let's dive in. And I have an energy drink ready to go, so welcome. So there's just 6 questions. I really don't anticipate that this will be super long, but let's take a look. So question number 1 is, what are books that you need to finish before the year ends? And I do have 2 books that I'm currently reading, and these are both ones that I very much need to finish soon because they're both for videos. So currently I'm reading Dark Age by Pierce Brown. I have not gotten very far into this one at all, but this is book 5 in the Red Rising saga. It is, I think I'm discovering one of my all-time favorite series, and I'm loving this, but I can tell that it is going to be rough, and rough entirely because I think it's going to be very emotional, and based off everything that I see and all of people's reviews that I see, this is a painful one. But I'm really excited to keep going and finish off the series this year, or at least get caught up in the series, because I do believe there's one more coming out. And then the other book that I'm currently reading is The Jasad Heir, and this is a fantasy romance. It is taking place where this kingdom, the Jasad kingdom, has basically been completely wiped out after this huge massacre event, and now one of the 4 kingdoms in this realm is hunting down everybody who has Jasad blood, because if you have this blood, you have magic. And it's very much been ingrained in people now that if you have magic, you are dangerous and you cannot be allowed to stay alive. So we're following the Jasad Heir, a princess who managed to get away from this massacre and has been presumed dead for the last 10-ish years. And we're following her as she goes basically from small town to small town hiding out, and also is maybe on the verge of getting caught. So I'm really enjoying this one so far. But yeah, those are the 2 books that I am currently reading. Question number 2 is books to transition to the end of the year. So I personally think fall, winter is epic fantasy time. And you know why? It's because it is cold outside. You don't want to go outside. You don't want to do other things. You want to like cuddle up at home with a blanket and a hot coffee, and you just want to like get immersed in a new world and forget about every problem that you are currently having and just how cold and miserable it is outside. So for that, I would recommend like literally any epic fantasy series. And books that come to mind, like maybe anything by Brandon Sanderson. I'm currently reading the Wheel of Time series too, so yes, I would recommend that one. And yeah, like just literally any fantasy book at all would work for this. Question number 3, any book releases you're still waiting for? So there's only one that is coming out in 2023 still that I can think of, and that is Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Roth, which is the sequel to Divine Rivals. Loved this book. I thought this was absolutely fantastic and so good. Like such an incredibly like unique world, like interesting characters, like very good. And I am like dying inside to get to the second book because the first one left off on such an exciting note, and I really can't wait to see where it goes. And then there's also, I'm thinking of 3 books that they've already come out, but I haven't yet got my hand on them because I've ordered them. They just have not made their way to me yet. So I can think of Lightbringer by Pierce Brown, which is the next book after Dark Age. Swordcatcher by Cassandra Clare. This is her newest book. It is her first adult fantasy book, her first book outside of the Shadowhunters world, so I'm excited. And Starling House by Alex E. Harrow, which is like a very gothic fantasy book. So those are ones that they did come out a while ago. I just don't physically have my hands on them yet, so I'm still really waiting to read these before the end of the year. Question number 4, books you need to read by the end of the year. Well, I am going to direct you to a video I posted the other day, which is the 30-ish books that I need to finish before the end of the year, because I am doing something crazy, and I recognize this is crazy. I just cannot stop myself. I am reading the top 20 Goodreads nominees for fantasy, sci-fi, romantasy, and romance. So it's insane. It is insane. And I'm going to be doing videos on all of these. But with these 80 nominees, I have 30-ish left that I need to read. And it's obviously going to take me quite a while to do this, but I do think that I'll be able to get it all done by the end of the year, and in time also to be able to release all those videos this year about them, which if I don't get to it, I'm not really that worried. I'll just put them out in January anyways. But that is my intense plan, is that I have so many nominees from this one to read. And yeah, I will link the other video up above if you're interested in going to see it. It is, yeah, I'm getting into all of the ones that I still have outstanding. Question number 5 is books that you think that could still shock you. I'm not sure. Sorry, I'm just taking a look at my bookshelf right now, and like I have like all the books that I want to read like in one area. So I really anticipate that Hurricane Wars is going to be one that I really, really like. And otherwise, I don't know, like I'm going into the Fragile Threads of Power by V.E. Schwab like slightly apprehensive, because I really enjoyed the original trilogy, but it's been many, many years since I've read that. So that's one where I'm kind of unsure how I will be going into it, unsure if I will actually enjoy it. And I'm hoping that I would, but it could shock me if I do end up liking it a lot. And one that I'd be very, very shocked if I actually did enjoy is A Fall of Ruin and Wrath by Jennifer L. Armentrout. It's her newest series. I know literally nothing about it, but JLA books for me are very hit or miss, and usually major, major misses. I do find that she starts off series well, and then they go like completely off the rails and very bad very quickly. But maybe this would be one that I really like. And then question number 6 is, what are your reading plans or goals for next year? So I'm going to have another video by the end of the year going over this, but I really want to once again aim to read my physical TBR and get that down to 0, because that was one of my major goals for this year and I am failing it. There is absolutely no way I'll get this accomplished, and it's just something I want to, maybe I'm not going to set it to 0, but maybe I'll set it to like get it under 50 or something, because I think that is manageable, and that is a number that's low enough that I don't feel stressed about it. But there was points this year where my TBR was getting to like 130, 140, and I got very, very overwhelmed about that and was feeling very guilty about buying books and then not reading them. And I don't know, like I want to potentially, I'm not going to aim to read quite as much as I did this year, just because I think I want to focus more on making content and making themed reading vlogs and actually prioritizing putting out YouTube videos and schedule my life around that instead of just trying to read as much as I can. So I think that's going to be much more of a focus for me, is just entirely videos instead of just like reading insane amounts every month, because there was quite a few months this year where I read over 40 books, and like that's fine. I don't really want that going forward. And I'm also, so speaking about the physical TBR, one thing I do, and I am going to really intend on doing this more, is I tend to not buy books now unless they're ones that I've already read and I've rated fairly highly and like made that mental note that I want a physical copy of it. So I'm gonna really, really try to go forward with that, where I'm not buying books that I haven't read unless it's like by an author I love, or like a continuation in a series, or something that like is really, really highly anticipated for me. Like I'm gonna try to not do that like random browsing of just picking up something just because. So I'm gonna really try to prioritize only buying books that I have already read. And there you go. That was a super, super quick video just going over this end of year book tag. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Leave below like any books that you're planning on reading by the end of the year. And hopefully I will see you in a video soon. Bye.